Hi guys, Lostino here, and with the patch 5.1, the dev team decided to add item levels to leveling dungeons. Now, this is a change I definitely am glad to see, but for those who may be a bit confused or a bit scared about what it means, I thought I'd just show you what you're really looking at. So if you go onto Dusk Vigil, for example, to be the first one with it, because of the item levels work pre level 50, they're not going to bother putting them in. But yeah, you're not going to have to worry about it for a Realm Reborn really, until you start getting into the level 50 dungeons and the level 50 trials and all that sort of stuff. They're quite generous if you ask me. Average item level only needs to be 100 for Dusk Vigil, and they don't increase by much. There's about 5 item level increase per thing, so by the time you're on Great Google Library for your level 59 one, you need average item level 120, which you can have average item level 120 easily at that point, because if you have a full set of Ironworks gear, even unaugmented, you'll be around that level. If you augment one of your rings to allow you to have 2 rings, you'll definitely be at least 120. And same with Stormblood, so Siren Song C being at 240, all the way up to Castro Mabania being 260. And again, I'm already at 260 and I'm a level 63, so it's not going to slow you down as long as you're gearing up along the way. And I think that's definitely where the item level change should be, and I am very glad for it, because the worst thing that can happen is, especially if you're playing it as a healer or a tank or any class really, and you join a dungeon run and there's that guy that's in there with item level 200 gear in Siren Song Ski, and it's like, and their average item level is somewhere in the region of like 220, and you're like, dude, there's a reason we're all wiping, and it's because you don't have good enough gear. Now it removes that issue. Now obviously going in there with average item level 240 is going to be harder than someone who's going in there with the best average item level we can have, which is around the 267 mark on Siren Song. But other than that, you're definitely in. It's definitely a good place to be. A good idea. But just for those who maybe perhaps, I can't get into this dungeon, even though I know what I'm doing, and all my left side is really good, and my right side's all right for my level. How do I improve my item level? I thought we'd talk about how item level scoring works, or calculating works. And it's a rather simple method, really. You take your item level of each individual piece of gear, so 270, 265, 265, 265, 260, so on and so forth, and then you add it all up and divide it by the number of slots. However, for the purposes of classes that don't use offhand, so all combat classes bar Paladin, your main hand, so your weapon will count as 2 slots, because you divide it by the amount of slots there are total, even if there is no offhand. But to make up for that, all main hands bar crafters, gatherers, when crafters and gatherers really don't need to worry about item level, but all bar paladins are calculated as having 2 of those equipped. So I'd go, if I got my calculator and did it, I'd go plus 270, plus 270, plus 265, plus 265, plus 265, plus 260, plus 265, plus 265. I'm not 100% sure how the Aetheryte earrings are calculated, because it says it's 290, but obviously these are 265, so I don't know. It's just an annoyance with the way certain gears can be calculated, unfortunately. But yeah, like the Nexus then it's 270, 270, 270, 270. Lucky me. But anyway, yeah. So that's just how that's calculated. That's a conservator's ring. Never mind. But yeah. And that's just how gears calculated, and what you need to think about when doing it. Obviously, as long as you're increasing it. For example, if you have a what I tend to find happens is when you hit level 50, a lot of times you need rings to continue. That's what usually locked me out of stuff. So just keep an eye on your jewelry. Again, because of the way gearing up during the 1 to 50 set area is, rings tend left hand or right side tends to get ignored a bit, just because it doesn't drop from dungeons. It's not so common from MSQs or even side quests. But if you are finding difficult with that, maybe first Poetics should go to 1 or 2 of the Ironworks rings, just so you've got that item level to get you into that. Now, I'm not advocating for people quote unquote boosting their item level, but in fairness, they are extremely generous with that. I mean, you can have average item level 270. I think it would probably work out as 270, probably 269. I think it works out to. You can have average item level 269 before you start Stormblood, and 260 is enough to get you into the, well, not the final dungeon for the story. Yes, I know I haven't done all of it on this character, but hey ho. Yeah, you need average item level 280 to get into the last dungeon, so you'll be more than fine. They've been very generous, but enough to make people actually have to stop and go, hang on a minute, I need to get some gear. I mean, I know I was playing on a warrior earlier, level 53. I had full right side high quality crafted gear, level 50, which is eye level 115 gear, but because like I said, getting jewelry during the level 1 to 50 area is a bit off. I had an average item level of about 90. So I think it's definitely a very good change, and that's how you worry about how item levels are actually calculated in the game, in case someone's a bit confused as to why it doesn't necessarily add up when they add it to a calculator. Anyway, I've been Lossino. Thanks for watching.